Welcome to the world of Josh Adams.
Oh my God. I'm having a bit of a breakdown. I just called my aunt. And she's telling me that I should check myself into a hospital. I'm gonna call the suicide hotline.
You have reached the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline.
Are you thinking about suicide?
Yes.
Alright, what is your name?
My name is Josh.
So you're saying so that you're having suicidal thoughts. Do you have any intention of acting on those thoughts?
I just want to get help so that I don't.
Did something happen today that caused you to have a suicidal thought?
I'm just under a lot of stress.
Okay.
I'm burned out. I'm working 2 jobs and I'm not making ends meet. And I just got off the phone with my aunt and she's encouraging me to go and check myself in somewhere. But
okay.
I don't know what steps to take and I don't know what to do.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you called us today because that is always the first step to, just getting help and reaching out, especially when you don't know what to do.
I'm so scared.
I see it as totally being positive. The hardest part is doing what you're doing right now, just going.
Come here, little boy. I miss him. This little puppy. I'm gonna miss you, little boy. Alright, this is it, the big day. It is 5:30 in the morning and just got up a little bit ago and I'm getting ready to go. I'm really nervous because I'm supposed to have a second seat next to me, but I just found out last night that it's not guaranteed, so I don't know what's gonna happen. And I gotta go through security, so I'm having some major social anxiety right now and I haven't even gotten there yet. But whatever happens, I'm gonna go. Okay, let's go.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm freaking out a little bit. But I know this is the right thing to do, so here goes.
Be safe. Have fun.
Well, I just made it through security. It was a freaking nightmare. I'm not in good shape, so even just standing in line like that, I'm all hot and sweaty, and now I gotta take a flight, so this is gonna be kind of challenging, but I'll get through it. This journey is beginning. Here we go. Lord, I'm hot, I'm tired, I'm out of breath. But I'm in Tampa. I made it. Welcome to Tampa. So I decided to stay in Tampa. I was in treatment for 61 days, and I'm currently living in a sober living house. I follow a meal plan that was given to me by a nutritionist. I weigh and measure my food, and I do not eat any white flour or sugar. I work a 12-step program of recovery. I have a sponsor who I check in with on a daily basis, and I'm working the 12 steps. On January 20th of this year, I had a breakdown. For those of you who watch my videos on a regular basis, you may have heard me talk about, how I'd been struggling a bit. I did not fully disclose just exactly how bad it had gotten and how much I was struggling. I had been having suicidal thoughts for some time leading up to that day. The only thing that had kept me from following through with that was the fact that I didn't want to hurt my family. But it had gotten so bad there at the end that I started to not care anymore who I hurt. I just wanted to be out of my misery. And I would have these thoughts about, driving my car into the pillar of a bridge or driving my car into a lake, but I thought that both of those options sounded too painful. So then the thought was that, I could pull my car into my garage and just leave it running, but my garage was full of shit and I was too lazy to clean it out. So my laziness is what actually saved me from following through with that. But I was to a point where I was just miserable. I was praying every night that God would just, take me out of my misery. And every morning I would wake up and have to live it all over again, the same misery every day. And I was just so beaten down by it. I never fully disclosed everything that I was struggling with. So in addition to the food addiction, I also had an alcohol and drug addiction as well. I was smoking pot every day, and I mean like every day. I would smoke a joint on my way to work, on my way home from work. I would stop and binge every day on my way home from work. I was binging on my lunch breaks. I was binging in the morning before I would go to work. It was truly out of control. The strange thing about the food addiction is that you get this temporary euphoria, I guess, when you eat the food. At least for me, I did. And I would binge on a lot of carb-heavy foods or sugar. So I would go to Taco Bell. That was my number one. And I would just get tons of food. I would order, they have those 10 packs of burritos, so I would get a 10-pack of bean burritos and I would just eat it all in one go. Or I would get 2 combo meals and I would pretend to be ordering food for someone else, so I'd pretend to be on my phone and I'd be like, what kind of drink did you want with that, so it was just out of control. And it's so funny because I've done these videos now for a while, and I did the intervention show back 12 years ago. So to a point, I've always been open about my struggles, but even then I've still tried to control how people see even the negative things that are going on. Like for example, before the camera crew came from intervention, which of course I didn't know that it was intervention at the time, but before they came, I went and got my teeth whitened. Here I am just, my life is falling apart and I'm trying to whiten my teeth so that I would somehow look better on camera. I don't know. It was just insane. I cleaned out my room to make it not as bad as it really was. But I was the kind of person that would hoard my fast food trash in my room or in my car. And, I was so ashamed of it and embarrassed by it. But I didn't want people to know how bad it really was. The thing with food addiction is it's one of those addictions where you carry it for the world to see. I carry my addiction outwardly, so it's obvious when there's a problem, but even then I would still try to control just exactly what people saw. So before I came to treatment back in January, I cleaned out my car. It filled 6 bags full of fast food trash just for my vehicle alone. I was truly just miserable, and the day that I had my breakdown, my aunt called me out of the blue and she told me that she had thought about me and she just wanted to check on me and see how I was doing. And, I just broke down crying on the phone with her. And so when this all happened at work, I was on my lunch break. At the urging of my family, I decided to go and get help again. And I went to an inpatient treatment program that specializes in drug, alcohol, and food addiction. It's been almost 4 months since I went to treatment. I took a break from making videos because I just wanted to focus on working the program and, focus on myself because I didn't want any distractions. I'm at a point now where I'm so much happier than I was. I've discovered a spiritual program of action that allows me to focus not just on the physical part of it, because that's obviously important, but what I did last time was I made it all about the weight and my appearance. So I relapsed rather quickly because I didn't work any kind of a real program to fix what's in here. The problem isn't the food. The problem is what's in between my ears and my thinking. So this time around, I came in with a desperation that I didn't have the first time that I went to treatment, and I followed suggestions. I was willing to get 100% honest about what was going on. They encouraged me to pray to a higher power, and I'll be honest, I was very angry at God, but I had to find a new understanding of a higher power. I've become a lot more open-minded to the concept of a higher power. I learned that in order to find a daily reprieve from the obsession of food, drugs, and alcohol, that I needed to find a power greater than myself to help me with that. And so they encouraged me to start praying, and I tried it. And I didn't even know who I was praying to or what I was praying to, but I just did it. And you know, things started to shift. My thinking started to shift. It has been so rewarding. I cannot even explain in words just how much better I feel as a person. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know how much weight I've lost, because it's not about that. It's not about the number on the scale. And I think that's where I was so focused before. The first time that I went to treatment and I lost weight, I had a list of like 70 phone numbers. And every week I would weigh in and I would send out a text message to all 70 numbers and just be like, you know, this week I've lost this amount of weight, and this week I've lost this amount of weight, you know, and it was all about my ego. And this time around, like, I don't want to know what I weigh. I don't want to become obsessed with the number on the scale, because at the end of the day, it's just a number. And I don't want my mood or my emotions to be tied to the number on the scale. So instead, I'm working a program that's allowing me to examine myself and really look at the parts of me or the behaviors in my past that have not worked. And in the process, I'm becoming a better person. I'm getting to really learn who I am as an individual and be comfortable with who I am. There were a lot of things that I was really ashamed of, and a lot of guilt and shame and baggage, emotional baggage that I carried with me for my entire life. And this process has been letting some of that go. And it's a journey. It's not something that has happened overnight, and I still struggle sometimes. When I was in treatment, I was challenged to write a song. So the treatment program that I went to, they have a rec center and they have a music room. So a long time ago, I had composed some music on the piano, and I was challenged by some of the clients there to write a song, write some words to the music that I had written. And so they actually gave it to me as an assignment while I was in treatment. Before I even wrote it, you know, I prayed that God would inspire something to come out of that. It was such an incredible experience to be able to write that song. And once I got out of treatment, I went into the recording studio and I actually recorded it. So I will be releasing a lyric video for the song. It's called I Believe. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I really owe a lot to God for how everything fell into place. I think that if I had been using drugs and alcohol and food the way that I was before when this pandemic hit, I'm afraid that I would have followed through with the suicide. I'm just so incredibly grateful that things worked out the way they did. I'm so grateful to the program where I went to get help. I'm so grateful for the 12-step fellowships, and I'm so incredibly grateful to my higher power, you know, because I realize now that God was there this whole time, and I thought that he had turned his back on me, but that's not the case. So I'm very grateful for that. But I just wanted to check in with you guys. I've missed you so much. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, please click that like and subscribe button, and be sure to click the bell to be notified when I post new videos. I will see you guys next time. Lord willing and the creek don't rise.